Hello classmates, how are you? How are you doing? Today, and as I promised, here's the video that explains or shares all my knowledge about parts of speech. So if anyone notices that I missed something in this video, let me know down below. And as for some further videos, yes, there will be the video that covers the function part, and I really hope there will be some time left, to make the video to cover clauses and phrases. Yeah, I really hope so. So let's get down to it in the name of Allah. In English, there are 8 types of words, or eight word classes: nouns, determiners, adjectives, pronouns, adverbs, prepositions, verbs, and conjunctions. Inshallah, we'll cover them all, but the conjunctions part, because we didn't study conjunctions, so I don't have any knowledge to share with you. Just one thing: if there is an element that is not a noun or a determiner or an adjective or a pronoun, adverb, preposition, or verb, well, it's gotta be a conjunction, as the professor told me. Another thing that's conjunctions, they link two clauses together. That is the other thing. That's all I know about conjunctions so far. As for the nouns, nouns are all words that are preceded by a determiner. So we have an example here. She is a mother. How do we know that mother is a noun? Because there is a determiner before it's a. Second, nouns are all words that take plural s. So as the example says, I love colorful images. How do we know images is a noun? Because it takes a plural s. Third, words that end with these suffixes are nouns, like nest, ship, hood, shin. We have some examples: hardship, dirtiness, brotherhood, nation, things like that. Determiners. Well, determiners require a noun after them. If you see an element and you think that it is a determiner and it's not followed by a noun, well, it's not a determiner, it's something else. We have an example: most vegetarians eat eggs. So most is a determiner. It is followed by a noun. Second, words that take apostrophe s, the genitive s, are determiners unless they are preceded by a determiner. We have an example: John's car is filthy. John's is a determiner and it's followed by a noun. And we have another example: the creature's personality. Creatures is not a determiner, it is a noun because it is preceded by a determiner. Third, determiners must agree with the noun they modify. We have an example: another student has come. So another is a determiner and it agrees with the noun it modifies. Another is in the singular and student is in the singular as well. And we have another example: another two students. So another here is not a determiner because it doesn't agree with the noun students. Students is in the plural and another is in the singular, while two is a determiner and it agrees with the noun it modifies, students. 4. A noun cannot have more than 3 determiners: predeterminer, main determiner, and post-determiner. And the example says, half these several tanks are empty. So half is a predeterminer, these is the main determiner, and several is the post-determiner. We have a little test to identify the position of the determiner, whether it is predeterminer, main, or post-determiner. All we gotta do is add the determiner we have to the prototypical determiner the. If it occurs before the, then it is a predeterminer. If it occurs after the, then it's a post-determiner. If it can't occur with the or any other main determiner, well, it is a main determiner. Let's see some examples. We have little book. We can say the little book. So little is a post-determiner. And we have such fun. We can say such this fun. So such is a predeterminer. And we have this carpet. Well, it can't occur with any other main determiner. You can say this carpet, This the carpet, these carpets. You can't say that. So it is a main determiner. Adjectives, they modify the noun, and I insist on this definition because it defines the adjective. It is the basic definition of the adjective, and we're gonna use it much times while dealing with adjectives. First, adjectives have an absolute, superlative, and comparative form, and some of them are gradable. Second, the adjective has three positions: attributive, a pure-heart person has arrived; postpositive, the governor-general just unleashed a missile; predicative, Joseph feels ambitious. Third, words that end with these suffixes are adjectives: ish, able, less, fool, like, ick, ickle. Adjectives have two functions: modifier and complement. Modify when they occur inside a noun phrase. Complement when they occur outside the noun phrase. So we have an example beside: the powerful beast seems tired. So powerful is a modifier because it happens inside the noun phrase the powerful beast. And as for tired, it is an adjective, but it is a complement, not a modifier, because it happens outside the noun phrase. Participial adjectives like mashed, tiring, etc. These are words derived from actual verbs in the past or present participial form. Looks like an adjective. That means they modify a noun. So if an element is not derived from a verb, you just treat it like other simple adjectives. If it does modify a noun and respects the adjectival rules, well, it is an adjective. Like the example we have besides. I spend my hard-earned money. Hard-earned is not derived from any verb, and it has a participial form, and it modifies a noun, which is money. That means it is an adjective. If the element is derived from a verb, you go through the next steps. First, if it is derived from an intransitive verb, well, it is an adjective for sure. If it is derived from a transitive verb, you have to know if it describes an action, then it is a verb. If it describes the state, well, it is an adjective. Like the example we have besides. John is tired. Tired is a transitive verb. So we have to ask ourselves, does it describe the action or does it describe the state? Well, it describes the state, so it is an adjective for sure. We have another example. They were married. Marry is a transitive verb. And again, we have to ask ourselves, does it describe the action or does it describe the state? Well, it describes the action, so it is not an adjective. Adverbs. These are words that modify the verb, the adjective, and another adverb as well. To distinguish between an adverb and an adjective, we replace the element as follows. Don't be hard on them. So we are stuck. We don't know what is hard. Is it an adjective or is it an adverb? So if we were to replace the word hard with gentle or gently, which one would we use? Would we say don't be gentle on them or don't be gently on them? Of course we would say don't be gentle on them. Gentle is an adjective, so this replacement is an indication that this word hard is an adjective, not an adverb. Pronouns. Pronouns replaces a noun or a noun phrase. A pronoun can never be followed by a noun. If it is followed by a noun, then it is a determiner, not a pronoun. The man whose son has won is proud. Whose is a determiner because it's followed by a noun, son. I prefer these shirts. These determiner because it's followed by a noun, shirts. But there are some exceptions. Like this example. What John needs is a car. What is a pronoun, not a determiner, although it's followed by a noun, because it replaces a noun phrase, which is car. A car. Personal pronouns. Personal pronouns show four distinctions: case, objective, subjective, possessive. Second person, first person, second person, third person. Number, singular, plural. 4. Gender, feminine, masculine, neutral. In the exam we will be asked to give distinctions between some pronouns. We have to do them as follows. So consider the example. Besides, we are asked to give the distinctions between she and their. The first thing that we have to do is to mention the distinctions in case. So she is in the subjective form and there is in the objective form. And we move on now to the person. So she is in the third person and there is in the third person. So we don't have to mention this distinction. And move on now to number. She is in the singular and there is in the plural. So this is another distinction. Gender, she is in the feminine, there we don't know. It could be feminine, it could be masculine. So we don't mention this distinction too. Relative pronouns. A relative pronoun must have an antecedent. If it doesn't have an antecedent, well, it's not a relative pronoun. The library that I go to is often crowded. That pronoun has an antecedent, which is library. That's why it is a relative pronoun. But if I say, the idea that I should come early drives me mad, well, the pronoun that is not a relative pronoun, because it doesn't have an antecedent. It doesn't refer to any antecedent. Reflexive pronouns. A reflexive pronoun and its antecedent must occur in the same clause and share the same verb. Another thing that I forgot to mention is that the relative pronoun must be in an objective case. Impersonal it. It is nearly 1 o'clock. So it here, it doesn't refer to any person. It doesn't replace any noun. It is only there because it fulfills a purpose, a grammatical purpose. We call it a grammatical subject, it. And we have another example. It is evident that John is rich. So it here is an impersonal it. It is only a grammatical subject. Prepositions. A word or set of words that indicates location or some other relationship between a noun or pronoun and other parts of the sentence. They require complement. Together they form a prepositional phrase. That means unit. And when I say unit, that means the unit can be replaced with one word. We cannot talk about a unit and it can be replaced with only one word. So, if there is no complement, then it is not a preposition. It is something else. It might be an adverb. We have some examples. The library is on the hill. They talked there. So the library is on the hill. On has a complement, the hill. So it is a preposition. They talked there. There doesn't have any complement. So it is not a preposition. To identify the preposition, two tests are applied. The movement test. We have an example. John found out the secret. So we don't know whether out is a preposition or something else. So we move it. We move it after the object and it becomes John found the secret out. This is possible. So this fact indicates that this is not a preposition. We have another example. John looked after the children. We don't know whether after is a preposition or not, so we move it and we say John looked the children after, and this is impossible in English. This fact indicates that after is a preposition. The second test is the relativizing test or the cleft movement. So John found out the secret. So John looked after the children. We say it is after the children that John looked. This is possible in English. Well, this is an indication that after is a preposition. As for John found out the secret, we can't say it is out the secret that John found. This is impossible in English, and this is an indication that out is not a preposition. So there you go, this is the end of this video and this lesson, parts of speech. I hope you really enjoyed it and it was helpful. Wait for me for the next video about functions, and please, if there is any mistakes or something that I missed in this video, please let me know down below in comments or something like that. And goodbye.